Welcome back, everyone, to Recorder on the Wall. Recorder on the Wall, where we're going to take you down to the Red Wall City where the grass is green and the mice are pretty.
Copyright lawsuit.
And that was the podcast.
Okay, well, that was a good short episode. Okay, people. Yep, let's go. All right. Let's do introductions.
I'm Jeremy Axelrose.
I'm Drew, and I exist sometimes.
I'm Katie, and I have no witty other thing.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Pete Blue Eyes the Abbot.
Are we going to see behind blue eyes?
No, I was thinking more of a Frank Sinatra kind of thing, but that works too.
I
One
was
knows what it's
thinking
like to
Blue
be
Eyes, White
Axel.
Badger.
To be the sad weasel? All right, I'm done with the song references.
Thank you.
There will be puns coming, but I'm done with the song references.
Oh, I will. We have at the very end here. I will be wholeheartedly disappointed if you and Drew don't have a pun off on what happens to Farago at the very end. So,
Oh.
so start thinking of them now, but don't spoil it. We haven't gotten there yet.
I'm grabbing my
Very end.
notebook.
The very end of this section or the book itself?
This section.
Okay, I just need to know which puns I need to have ready.
And you can't repeat. Remember, Katie's on staff here.
I know.
Yep,
Is she documenting this?
got my buzzer.
Oh yeah, she's not allowing him
I'm
to
documenting
repeat
it.
puns between episodes. It's
No.
glorious.
Even outside of the podcast.
My day job, I keep the court record. On the weekends, I keep the pun record. It works.
I'm gonna choke on another jelly bean.
No,
Please don't.
don't do that.
All right, we read
Is it a
the
cough
second.
E-flavored jelly bean?
We read the second book in Salamandastron.
Oh.
We did?
We did. Some of us only finished only short hours ago. Certainly not me. I don't know what you're talking about. Shut up.
I'm on the last chapter right now, so you're gonna have to give me a minute.
Who put us on the Bourbon HR helpline?
If you were thrown out a
we
window,
users.
press 1. If you were set on fire, press 2. If you were scalded with
Like-
boiling water, press 3.
If you are filing your dental
For
claim,
Ashley.
All right, we're good.
if you are filing dental claims due to a goal whacker, please press star.
If you were killed
hard
by
bread.
if you were shot by your own boss because they thought you were their missing brother, press 6.
We read Salamandastron Book 2, and a lot happens this chapter, but surprisingly less than I thought when I was remembering. We don't actually, by the end of this, I mean, yeah, more parties are closer to where they need to be, but I at least thought we'd see more characters who I totally don't know who they are, and they are coming in Book 3. So, but no, we don't. And let's just be honest here outright. Yes, if you're listening to this, obviously you don't care about spoilers, but Farago doesn't make all that much progress short of one certain black fox.
But that was awful.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Hmm.
So where we left off in Book 1 was Mara and Pickle had gotten the heck out and into the Great White somewhere, and she's on an adventure, and adventure sucks. She may have been betrayed by her new reptile friend. Darn it. And,
After being betrayed by her new weasel friend.
darn it.
After being betrayed by her hair friend.
Yeah, man, she
Their
needs.
gosh darn oat farls.
Yeah, meeting friends on the internet is not working for her.
Mara's like, I knew I shouldn't have signed up for MySpace.
Yeah. MySpace.
Oh,
That's about where my knowledge of social media begins and ends.
There you go.
Guess you have Oak Tom on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oak Tom, you're always there for me.
Except he's kind of dead, but okay.
He lives on our MySpace pages.
Ah, okay. But yeah, Mara and her best friend Pickle are tossed into a big pit by a bunch of toads.
So they're in a pickle?
Yes, they are. Good job.
That was low-hanging fruit.
With a
Red,
bunch
leather,
of
yellow.
mushrooms.
A breath, Pete.
Low-hanging vegetables.
So yeah, being in this pit is not exactly a exactly great situation because we
Pits.
find out. Yeah, we're kind of gonna be food for a bunch of cannibal toads. Oh.
This
I think I've
happens a
seen this
lot
before.
in this series.
Yeah, and
Yes.
let's just say amphibians, reptiles, and the occasional fish who has the ability to speak. Okay.
Wait, what?
The pie. Or the what's his face? Martin helped out of a pit, and he went
Oh,
and
a snakefish?
yeah.
I didn't think he was actually a fish. I thought he was like an eel.
Yeah. Is it an eel a fish, though?
I don't know.
Technically.
To the web!
To the internet.
Well, we're gonna put everybody on hold again while we look up eels.
Oh wow, I just typed in is an eel and the very first thing that popped up was is an eel a fish? And an eel is considered to be a fish. They use
Okay.
gills to breathe and spend most of their lives underwater. The more we know.
Well,
Aw.
never
All right,
mind.
Redwall has talking fish.
But yes, any non-mammals in this franchise tend to either be neutral or, yeah, kind of meat eaters, and the meat they eat are mammals. Ooh.
Yes. Hmm.
I mean, it's not a hard and fast rule. I'm not
How
counting the birds and other
unrealistic.
avians, but yeah. And this, not that we haven't seen cannibalism before, but this version's kind of disturbing.
A little bit, yeah. Is it Pickle that says they're looking at Mara like they picture like an apple in her mouth?
Oh god.
It's like, all right then.
Yeah, there is an image. So,
Mhm.
and Mara and Pickle meet our shrews for the book. Yay! There's always a clan of these guys. And like, oh yeah, so hi guys, welcome. Here's your orientation packet. You may want to stay out of the open so they can't just take you when they want. And apparently we know somehow that when a wren drops an acorn in here, my dad's totally gonna rescue us.
My dad owns a dealership.
Yeah.
Wait, how do they know this?
Smoke bomb.
Ah, yes. And it doesn't take long because we get also one of the toads is named because why not? King Galweb?
Glag
Glagweb?
Glagweb, I believe.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Glagweb. And he's kind of silly. He likes to boss the other toads around, and he does not like Mara, clearly. But he might like her later with barbecue sauce. We're not sure.
Maybe.
I want my Mara back, Mara back, Mara back.
Oh no.
No!
Barbecue sauce.
But, yeah, I'm just rushing the plot a bit, but basically, hey, look, does that look like Logolog and his shrews to you? And yeah, they kind of do, and they kick the toads, and that's not the first time we're going to see Bloodwrath in this book, but, yeah, Mara has it.
She got a little bit mad. Just a little bit.
We're told she has her eyes are red with rage, and there's a little bit of foam there, so... But unlike most of the badgers we will see to come out of Salamandastron, she actually has a measure of control over it. Because when Logolog actually puts his sword to her throat, she's like, oh, I should stop.
Meanwhile, at the Mountain of Justice is this unlike all of book 1, book 2 actually kicks off and has a decent amount of stuff going on at Salamandastron.
Yeah.
You know, the titular location.
Oh yeah, that place.
I really like the standoff between Earthstripe and Farago, where Farago's like bragging like, "Oh, I have this giant army, blah blah blah," and Earthstripe gets this quick little mental victory because like Farago's getting closer and closer. Earthstripe just lowers his spear so it points at Farago, and Farago just takes a step back.
That's a nice sharp spear you got there. Can't we be friends about this? Just let me in. Let me in for a night. I mean, you guys have hospitality, right?
Yeah,
No.
Earthstripe's like,
Mhm.
yes, the price is one hug.
But you let my son in. Oh yeah. Whoops.
Earthstripe is like, yeah, but he was a loser. I bet I could snap him. It's like, I bet I could snap him or his sword in half.
I'm right here.
I am aware of your presence.
Oh.
Yeah, we get to see how effective Klitsch is, where he stabs Earthstripe. Earthstripe laughs, grabs the sword by the blade, and snaps it in half, and taunts him, and then leaves.
And it's interesting that Earthstripe is the one to shoot first here too. Like he starts the fighting.
He's a very combative badger.
Yeah, they're all like kind of like ready to see some action too. Nice.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Ready.
And we note that we have only 40 hairs this time around in Salamandastron. Funny how that number, as we've already noted on this show, this number will fluctuate exceedingly wildly.
The amount of hairs at Salamandastron is plot convenient.
Yeah.
Well-
Sure. I think that early on they only had like 5 hairs there, and it's
Yep.
only increased with time. So I believe that it goes, the later on in the chronology it is, the more hairs there are.
True, though it doesn't really explain why there was a ton of them there when Brocktree took over, and then only 4 were left when Boar was in charge.
He was
Right,
hungry.
but but the hairs that were there in the Lord Brocktree were also all old. There were like 60 of them, but they were all old.
Well, no, I'm talking about like when they retook the mountain and everything. They had like that gigantic army with them.
Oh yeah, okay. Then I don't know. They got bored again.
And as we see in later books, they will start numbering in the hundreds.
And
So,
thousands.
Yep.
how do they feed them all? We'll never know.
What they don't tell you is that the fields around Salamandastron are gone.
Oh no, they actually mention it. Farago actually outright says, we kind of burned their fields when we got here, so they're kind of stuck with whatever limited rations they have. Hey, Mr. Black Fox, you look an interesting fellow. Want to help out?
I kind of like that he never really speaks throughout this whole thing. Like he has no actual dialogue.
Yeah. After the first initial fight where Farago attempts to take the mountain and Earthstripe just kind of laughs. Literally.
Yes.
And then we get Earthstripe's next big surprise where he and his hairs take out longbows, which is kind of a nice nod to English history because they were one of the first major nations to use longbows pretty effectively in warfare in the medieval times. Hey, it's a good thing Klitsch is standing back and Goff is standing in front of him because whoops!
I read this, was like, oh god, Earthstripe has a longbow and is smiling. Are we sure he and Constance aren't tangentially related?
Maybe.
I mean, could be.
Yeah. Farago and Klitsch freak out though when Goffa gets impaled by the arrow. Klitsch like looks over and it's like, huh, the arrow kept going. All right, let's get back a few more feet.
Yeah.
Just, also the fact, why didn't Earthstripe shoot a second arrow? Did he only have one?
Well, clearly not, because we're told that Goff is not the only vermin to fall from this.
It's just like, why are there so many spears everywhere? Those are Earthstripe's arrows. Oh.
HR.
That was HR.
The arrow hit HR after going through one of the other guys.
Whoops.
Oh, and Redwall's falling victim to a plague. All right, moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody's getting it. No.
Yeah. This is,
So we should send someone to go get medicine, right?
Thrug's like, well, I don't like sickness, so see y'all.
Yeah.
I do like the bit though where what's the vole from the woods?
Flurgle.
Flurgle. Flurgle, hurgle.
He's a Swedish chef now,
It's like,
apparently.
Today we're making the antidote. Bark, bark. And Fergal's like, you're an ignoramus. You're not going to be able to get him. And then Thrug like stands over him and picks him up and goes, oh yeah? Watch me.
Well,
And I'm totally not going because I'm totally not scared of getting sick. Right, Dumble?
Yeah, but he goes out and all of a sudden he's like, wait, why? The toddler's following me. All right, I'll let you come with me. And it's like,
listen to Thrug's logic there, though. He says, I ain't never seen no flowers of Isotor, but I suspect that they're so valuable and rare that I'll know these blossoms as soon as I clap my eyes on them. And everybody's like, yeah, that sounds logical. That's fine.
Yeah, they're all going on this like the old wives' tales of like it's these flowers, and we know they're from the north. So he's like, I'll go north and I'll look for flowers.
Flurgle's the original anti-vaxxer, by the way. Just like, medicine is dumb. I've never gotten sick.
Oh no.
Oh, Lord.
Oh god. I would criticize Thrug for taking the toddler with him, but honestly, it's not like Redwall's much safer.
No, it really isn't in this case.
Yeah.
There is logic there.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the worst that can happen for an otter and a mouse on the path?
on the road.
Snake?
Oh, he beat the snake.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, 4 foxes? Oh, Thrug beat them up. All right.
A literal murder of crows? Hey, that's what they're called in groups.
I like that they meet like some bandits on the road. It's like a classic D&D encounter.
I feel like when Brian Jakes was putting the chapters together, he's like, something has to happen every chapter. And he like rolls a dice. He's like, frogs. Rolls the dice again. He's like, bandits? Rolls the dice again. Bird. It seems to show up in a lot of these where it's just like, what went wrong this time? Bird. What about the B plot? Lizards.
They eat people.
How original.
But yes, speaking of cannibal toads.
Yeah.
That's my new band name.
Do they indicate like how long it's been since book 1 with like the group in the pit?
Maybe in a day or two.
Yeah, it didn't seem like
I
more
was
than a
reading.
day.
Yeah, it didn't seem like that long, but it was weird because book 1 kind of ended with Nordo the Shrew's like, yeah, don't worry, my dad's totally gonna save us. And this is like half an hour later, and he's like, we're all gonna die. Like, dude, what? Okay, no need to go all emo on us. Like, what the heck? What happened in that last like day or two?
Maybe, I don't know, the toads were like coming up and talking about how delicious they were going to taste. Like psychological torture. And then he was like, no, I can't take it anymore.
Or they were feeding them drugs in the food and they ran out.
Nordo's like scratching his arm like, I need my fix, man. I need my fix. And Mara's like, I hear Earthstripe's got some good stuff.
But yes, the shrews are rescued by the adult shrews, and yay!
Yeah.
And I have to admit, I love this karmic justice that Logolog serves.
Yeah, Logalog's pretty mean here.
This is cold, but man, is it a good plot. Good read. What
I-
happens?
Well,
Go
I
ahead.
was going to say, I like the fact that before this, he stops Mara from killing the toad
Mhm.
first. He's like, no, I got a better idea.
Oh yeah.
You'll love this. You'll love this.
Boy.
And yeah, we're told Glagweb is, and I'm quoting here, unceremoniously kicked down back into the pit.
I'm just hearing cartoon sound effects like.
I'm okay. Hey, what's that in the pit with me?
Toad go into mud. Pike in the mud. Our Pike.
Clooney.
But Logolog leaves a small pike in the pit with King Glag, the Toad King.
I have him down as Toad King.
I didn't even write down his name.
And he basically says, so you tried to eat my son, so here's a challenge. That's a small pike. He's eventually going to get hungry enough to try eating you. So you can either eat him or die. Have fun with that.
Eat or be eaten.
And we'd never see that character again. So ooh.
Yeah, the sad part is that Pike's gonna eat the toad and then starve to death itself. Getting out of there.
I'm sure Logolog goes back later and he sees the two of them sitting down to tea. It's like, huh?
Didn't see
That
this
happened.
happen.
Well, I guess I have no choice but to let you go. No, just kidding.
Come on, eat.
See him sprinkling pepper on the toad and salt.
Just making me think of the movie Road Trip, where he's like staring at the snake, waiting for it to eat the mouse. Am I the only one who remembers that movie?
Oh, I remember.
Okay.
That's no comment. Sorry.
And meanwhile, back with the Arula
sword
and
plot.
Sankim. Yeah, sword plot.
Right, I forgot
Yeah.
about them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why we don't play with swords. He's flipping it around and then he cuts his own paw.
Whoops.
Yep.
Oh, hi, Deathbrush. Where did you come from? Oh.
And once again, this happens occasionally in the audiobooks, but Deathbrush and Ding-Eye are played by the same person. So he's confronting himself. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna cut off your head. Don't cut off my head! Like, the same guy.
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
Yeah.
So yes, the Justice of Farragost has reached him and he kills deserters. Right, Thora? Oh yeah, Thora's back there. Oh. Dingo's like, Parlay? Why are you picking up the sword? Why are you swinging at me? Oh.
See, you should. I brought this sword to take back to Farrago. It's really sharp. And Deathbrush is like, huh, I have the perfect thing to test on. Oh, what's that? Why are you looking at me so menacingly?
You want to try on this crown?
Yeah.
So yeah, Ding-Eye is dead.
Decapitation!
And Deathbrush has a new sword. Huh. Everybody wins. Except Ding-Eye.
And Sam Kim and Narula get attacked by wasps.
Yep, and we have one of the weirdest creatures I've seen.
Sprigget.
He is a strange.
Does anyone else think his brain is addled by all the insect venom he's inadvertently eating?
I had a different thought about him. I was just like, woodland forest dwelling creature that eats bugs and doesn't have a care in the world. So he has no worries for the rest of his days. Hakuna
Matata.
But there's no warthog with him, so it kind of falls apart, and he's a hedgehog.
Well, he's a hedgehog. So,
That means he doesn't have a meerkat.
Yeah, that.
but he's no meerkat.
Shut up.
Thank you.
I'm trying to think of puns over here.
Well, the wasp attack reminded me of Metal Gear Solid 3 with the pain.
Oh yeah. We just
Deadly
need
bee weapon.
some guy to start spinning guns around to kill all of them.
Yes.
Here, you've been covered in bee stings?
I love
Here,
how
go
at
roll
one
in this
point it
mud.
starts buzzing.
Katie, say again.
Huh? Oh. What was I saying? Oh, at one point his stomach
Buzzing.
starts buzzing. Yes.
Oh. Yeah, if we haven't made it obvious, Frigate tends to eat every insect they
Yeah.
come across, which really brings up some questions of scale again.
Mm-hmm.
Am I breaking up again? Because I'm gonna throw my
You
internet
are.
out the window.
You are, yeah.
Grr. Okay. Anyway.
Yes. Again, like I was saying, this kind of brings up question of scale. Whereas the book series is deliberately coy on the whole feral to anthropomorphic and how big certain creatures are in scale, and the animated series is forcibly has to have a standardized form. When it comes to insects, there's really not a good idea here. We don't know if they'd be like a bee to a human being.
It
Or
kind
if
of
it's
feels that way.
bigger than that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's kind of what I was gathering.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because whenever
Yeah.
we see bees and stuff, they always come off as very small. Like they say, like the bee landed on a character's nose, and so it feels like the bugs are like the same size that they would be to us.
Much less if we go all the way back to is it Redwall or Metameo where they find the Abbas Germain statue?
Metameo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, with the little folk.
ants on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna disconnect my modem and plug it back in.
Okay.
All right. This is annoying me. Stupid internet. Grr. Anyway. Continue.
But yes, the Sprigget tells our mole and squirrel pair to, hey, go roll on the ground in that mud.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sounds legit.
And this mud, when it dries, apparently pulls out the stings.
This is
Meanwhile-
where I think it goes back to the mountain here, yeah.
Yep.
And we get to some of the poisoner plot.
Farran, is it
Farran. Yeah, Farron.
Yeah, I would go with Farron.
Farran the Poisoner?
Probably
black
one
fox.
of the most messed up plots in the Redwall series.
Yeah, this is like the first instance, and maybe only one that I can think of, where there's this wholesale poisoning going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like Swart had his poison cup, but he only killed what, like 3 people with that?
Mm-hmm.
But it's very in line with an assassin.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Farago's not a very good, like, actual assassin. He's more of a warlord. I just think Brian Jakes is like, assassin's a cool name for this guy.
Like,
Well,
what's it, Bad Ring? I'm gonna call myself a tyrant because it sounds cool.
yep.
Neat. Who calls themselves a tyrant?
Who calls themselves Crab Eyes?
This is true. Well, the Crab Eyes is not the dumbest name in this section of the book, because we have a character that's literally named Ringworm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I have several questions,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure I want the answer to that one.
3 of the 4 foxes that attack Thrug are named Ringworm, Blitch, and Splidge. Their parents must have hated them.
Whereas there's a Do-Nose, which is surprisingly a vermin name.
There's also
Huh.
2 shrews named Scraggle and Wick.
And Tubgut.
Yeah. What?
That's coming up.
Yeah, what's up with the
Tubgut.
names?
But to get back on track here, he does offer the poisoner half the badger treasure.
Whoa.
That's a lot.
That's half.
Yeah, I'd be a little sus if my boss was like, "I'll give you half of everything here." I'd be like, "Yeah,
This
okay."
is true.
I'm getting murdered right after this.
It's clear that Farron, when we're described him, is that he's not part of the regular horde ranks, so he can't be ordered around, and B, yeah, he's worked with Farago before, but that doesn't mean necessarily he's trusted, because Farrago's outright, okay, can you go kill that badger and you'll get half the treasure and I totally won't stab you in the back when this is all over. Hey guys, we're gonna stab him in the back when this is all over.
He turns around, Farron's still there. Oh, what are you still doing here?
Boss. But one thing, I brought this up with another book I remember. What do they even do with the treasure? Like, what do vermin spend money on? Are there shops in this world? They're just like, I want all the shiny things. Well, what are you doing with the shiny things?
I'm gonna look at them.
Huh. I need to go home and rethink my life.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like, I understand trying to capture a place. Like, Clooney with Redwall Abbey was like, once I have this base of operations, with a bunch of slaves under my control, I can live easy on the fat of the land. But these guys are like convinced that there's something inside this mountain that they want.
I mean, you could even argue with Ungat Trun. He wanted the mountain because for the same reason. It's a base of operations.
Heck, even Gabul, when he got the bell, was like, I can totally use this as a bell. And Gabul was out of his mind, so, that's saying something, that he actually had the wherewithal. I could use this as a bell.
Life
I'm
is
not just
really
gonna look at it.
Life's really boring in this animal universe. Like, mostly it's just like, if we could have food and a place to sleep, like, that's the bee's knees. That's the cat's pajamas right there. But then it's like, you gotta have bad guys that want something, but like, when he offers Fran some treasure, like, is he just gonna bling out this fox? He's walking around this fortress, got a gold chain on. He's just like, yeah, I'm repping. It's like streetwear.
I just picture this actually going through. Like, Farago takes over the mountain, gives Farron this giant bag of treasure, and he's like, all right, see ya. And Farron, like, tries dragging it, can't move, and it's just like, I did not think this through.
I was thinking more like if actually they take over the mountain and whatnot, and then Farago walks out like wearing like Mr. T's level of chains. Hey guys, what do you think?
I pity the fool.
Well, okay, Dad, and then there's Klutch like, okay, Dad, we took over the mountain, got the treasure. Now what?
Farago's like, check the bling.
Klitch is flexing.
I love it when a plan comes together.
I got me a Rolex.
Oh, man.
Okay.
But
So-
yeah, what happens after they take over the mountain?
Well, like the plan is to, like, they're gonna do attack at night, so the poisoner can sneak in and poison the food, poison the water.
Yep.
That's the plan.
Yeah, this plan kind of works. They do lose a good chunk of the horde doing it, but they do attack the mountain at night, and the hares are totally prepared.
Yep.
Including oiling up some boulders and rolling them down.
Hey, I got the torch lit. What's that?
It's a boulder. Oh.
Whoosh.
Why is it on
Goodness
fire?
gracious, great balls of fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I also got to point out about Mr. Crab Eyes. He's an idiot. He's like, hey, Farago, our creatures are climbing up the mountain. Should we start shooting arrows at it?
You know, the only reason I haven't fired you is that we lost Vermin HR.
Yeah, like, Farago must have read the exploits of Ungat Trun's forces and is like, yeah, I'm not stupid enough to kill my own creatures. Unless they deserve it.
And then Farron, yeah, he gets in. And while Earthstripe is laughing as all the boulders fall down. Oh. This is fun. Farron gets to work, and in short order, not only does he kill Windpaw?
Yep.
Was it? Yeah, pretty brutally, actually.
Yeah, he stabs her in the neck with his poison-tipped dagger.
Yes, very assassin-like.
Yeah.
Baron the Assassin sounds like a real good title.
He's the spy. I'm more picturing him like the spy out of Team Fortress 2, honestly, at this point.
Gentleman.
He's got a hair mask on his face. Oh, okay, yeah. Welcome to the mountain, and there you go. Yeah, he kills Windpaw and he finds, oh, hey, here's your drinking water. I'm gonna put I'm gonna put Crystal Pepsi in it, or New Coke, or it's your
Coca-Cola Black.
It's cute how he first helps himself first, like he just has a nice deep drink of the water, and then he poisons it, and then he sits down and eats his fill of the food, and then he poisons the rest of it.
And there's no hair cook on duty, I noticed. So
he's classy as heck, though.
Oh yes, he is. We're told he daintily wipes his mouth with a napkin. Oh, and then he poisons all of it.
Yep.
Yeah, as one does.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, mission complete. Okay, let's get out of here.
Meanwhile, back with the shrews.
That goes back to Shrew.
Yep. Mara's like, hey, I should totally go to Salamandastron because bad stuff's happening. And Logalog's like, yeah, we'll totally go with you. I just need you to do me this one favor. It's not that big of a deal. We need to go to this island in the middle of a gigantic deadly lake, and you need to fight a giant ghost badger.
Wait,
you need to find the toy that I lost.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm sure teenage Mara with no formal combat training can handle a giant badger.
Yeah.
Right.
A ghost.
This sounds like a good idea.
If only there was someone that could call.
Oh no.
The reference you are making has been lame since 1990.
Mara ain't afraid.
But there's also an eating contest gets started up.
Oh, yeah. We all had that friend in high school and college who seemingly had a bottomless metabolism and stomach.
That was me, actually.
Nice.
And did they name themselves as such?
No. I actually had a moment where I went to a restaurant with some friends and I was like, man, I bet I could eat this whole dessert myself. And they're like, dude, if you do it, we'll pay for it. I was almost to the end of it where they all begged for mercy, like, all right, we'll pay.
Yeah,
Nice.
and what that adult Pickle somewhere down the line, his metabolism will crash and he's going to get hair diabetes. So
Yeah, they eat a lot of pudding.
Yeah, Tub Gut needs to change his name to No Brains if he's challenging a hare to an eating contest.
Yeah, that's a very tub gut. I mean, who names their child Tub Gut? It's
Well,
It's a
Toby
nickname.
Head is
I'm
in
hoping.
Peter Pan. I like Toby Head.
are you talking about from Hook, that one kid?
No, I'm talking about the Peter and the Starcatcher series. Toby
Oh.
Head.
I'm thinking of what's his name?
Rufio!
No, Thudball guy.
Oh, the big fat kid that they roll into the guys?
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
remember his name.
My girlfriend won't let me name our first child Rufio because I just shout it all the time.
good for your girlfriend.
Yeah, Vicky, I'm just like, what we name the kid Rufio? And she's like, where's that from? I was just like, fuck.
Yeah.
Rufio!
There's a guy at my work who has streaks in his hair, and I call him Rufio.
Bruh. Rufio's the coolest kid, though.
Does not know where that's from.
Yes.
I hope you're ready to get smoked in this pun competition because I'm on fire, dude.
I'll save it.
Hey!
I don't want to burn our audience.
Don't give anything away now.
There was a funny part there earlier too, when like Mara and Pickle sit down, and then there's some other shrews who are like, "Hey, those are our seats."
Yep.
And it's,
And
and it's like,
Log's like, now they're theirs.
yeah, just
Yeah,
hits
let's pick on the teenager badger who is bigger and stronger than all of you and is not fully grown.
The one
Okay.
that only stopped trying to kill the frog because like half the shrew army pulled her away from him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
good plan.
like I said, Tubgut should be renamed No Brains.
I'm sure he won't ever cause trouble ever again.
Hmm.
Never.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't hold a grudge at all.
No.
And I think from there it goes back to Sam Kim,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the stings are better.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
And Sprigget's like, yeah, there's a headless whatever ding I was over there.
Stoat. Yeah.
There's a headless stoat over there. Probably don't want to see that.
Probably not. Did I
No,
mention? Sorry, did I mention the origins of the name Sam Kim and Arula?
No.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, so apparently these two girls wrote in. Their names were Samantha and Laura, and he took their names and he turned them into characters. Like he moved around the
Aw.
letters in Laura, and then Sam Kim Samantha. Her last name began with Kim, so he just Sam Kim.
That's
Ah.
really cool.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Because speaking of those two, eventually they catch up with some of Deathbrush's trackers. So I know I'm skipping forward in this.
They got a good plan.
A foolproof plan.
Well,
What is
they're
their
on the
plan again?
trail. They're on the trail, and they encounter a couple of rabbits too.
Yeah, rabbits, not hares.
Rabbits. Two rabbits and their mom, who said like, "Yeah, the fox was here and he threatened to cut us. He had a big sword."
And it was Death Eye and Fang Slayer, I think, is what they were calling themselves. And
Those
it's
guys
like,
are
no,
cute.
you were Fang Slayer yesterday. Now I'm Fang Slayer. It was just adorable. And then the mom is like, I'll Death Eye and Fang Slayer you.
That doesn't make any sense. Ow, why are you grabbing my ear?
I'd be scared. Like, I would make the joke actually of wouldn't that mom's not getting anything for Mother's Day tomorrow, but I'd be scared not to give her a gift.
Exactly.
Eventually, they do catch up with some of Deathbrush's party, and yeah, we get to actually my favorite part of this. I'm not. They Arula apparently they convinced this nameless rat who got hit with a stick during the ambush.
Which the ambush,
Yeah.
it's one of the funniest moments of their
Talk
like,
about the
right.
ambush then.
Yeah, Sprigget's like, okay, be very quiet. I'm gonna make a cricket chirping sound, and that's gonna be the sign, the signal for all three of us to run in there and beat them senseless. And Sam Kim's like, all right, I'm ready. Let's go. And Arula's like, 55, 72, 83, cricket chirp! And she's continuing to count. She's beating rats over the head and then just starts rapidly smashing a rock while going like 85, 86, 87. And it's just total chaos. Sprigget runs dead back into a rat, and Deathbrush is like, what the heck is going on? Okay, they must be part of a bigger group. Let's get out of here. And
Run away! Run away!
and finally they all stop. And Sam Kim's like, why did you give the cricket noise so early? And then just random cricket jumps over and goes, and then jumps away. And they just kind of stare at each other.
Well,
Oh,
That
and there's a rat
happens.
with a broken foot.
Yeah.
I like to think the cricket kind of like shook his fist at them before he left and then just hopped off.
So they tie up this rat and they basically bind his injuries, but they somehow convince him that Arula is completely crazy. And you know what? I'm not convinced that's not the case.
And it was at one point she's like, I'll chop your tail off and shove it up your nose. Like, all right, that's creepy.
I'm calling it. She's gonna. If Oakton was still around in Batman, she'd be a Joker.
Also, we have two interesting moments of like, so Sprigget's like, by the way, it's just a weapon. Anyone can use it for anything. And we actually get that for the first time in a while because Martin's sword has not been a big deal in a while. And he's like, yeah. And Martin comes to Sam Kim in his sleep and he's like, yes, the sword can be used for good or evil. And then, like, literally half a chapter later, he's like, Sam Kim, find my sword. Don't let them use it for evil.
Golf, pull off that Martin mask.
It's like, I did not knock that thing off the roof and almost impale you with it just so you can lose it. Oh, back to the mountain. We get a really good scene of the Earthstripe and his hairs returning because it's all from Farron's point of view, or Farron's point of view.
Oh my
So-
god, this was chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Ugh.
instead of, oh, all the heroes are back from the victory, it's like you have this constant feeling of dread because it's like, oh god, who's gonna eat first?
Mhm.
Hi, Shorebuck. Bye, Shorebuck.
Oh.
Oh,
so
that poor
awful.
kid.
Yeah, and then Farron's like, oh, I used too much. Oh, that exit's blocked. That exit's blocked. That's not good.
Yeah. And
Oh,
I was off for a little bit. Did you guys mention Windpaw?
we
We
did brief.
Okay.
We kind of identified Farron as the spy in a video game, but that's all we really covered on him, other than being unsettling and Farago like, oh, you can totally have the treasure, and we're not gonna kill you. We're gonna kill him.
Yeah. Yep.
Have fun storming the mountain.
Yeah, and I mean it's so sad because it's almost a good thing that this happened with Shorebuck, because if it hadn't, then they all would have eaten and they all would have died. But oh, it's just so awful that it had to happen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Earthstripe is
it wa-
pissed.
Yeah, it was Farron's plan to have the poison act more slowly, but he overdosed it and it killed one too quickly.
I'm gonna say Farron drank way too much of whatever alcohol was being served, and kind of that's why he messed up so badly.
And and then outside, Farago's like, all right, well, they're all going to be weak. Time to tunnel in.
Hey, there's a tunnel here, or there's a spot where the rock is obviously weaker.
Yeah, and Klitsch doesn't like the idea. He's like, you're never going to get through that. Tunneling in is stupid.
He's like, why don't you just go through a window or this? You do this every time, Dad. It's like, Farago's like, no, I'm going to spend all this time tunneling through the entrance, sneak inside, and stab this hare, and that's not a hare. And oh, Farron, why do you have all your poison shoved down your throat?
Whoops.
Yeah, Farron unfortunately gets hurted by the hares. I mean that literally, like they chase him down every path
Yeah,
they could find deliberately towards the basement floor where
Yeah.
the morgue is.
And I know it's all really serious, but I couldn't help but think of the Benny Hill music going while he's like running back and forth, up and down.
Or the
Trying to get away
Scooby-Doo
from these
Doors
hares.
gag is the other thing.
Yeah. That's kind of how I was picturing it. Yeah, Doors and Benny Hill.
Oh, and he runs into Earthstripe wielding what kind of makes me think of a makeshift goal whacker. It's just a long piece of linen with a giant knot at the end, and he dunks it in water and then hits his hand with it and goes, "Let's wrestle."
Well, he outright tells his hares, like, here, you can give him any weapon he wants. I'm totally going to be fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have a long piece of linen tied in a knot. I'm fine. And yeah, we get Farago trying to tunnel through, and they actually make it. And we actually get a good moment of Farago going hands-on with the digging, and Badrang would be proud.
Yep.
Though I have to point out, this blocked-up kitchen outlet, which is what we found out this was, it seems like a pretty obvious weak point that you'd think a trained military like the one in Salamandastron would have thought harder about.
Yeah.
You'd think. And they're outright said, "Oh yeah, this old kitchen outlet. I remember this. We plugged this up when I was just a leveret." But I guess that's what we're trying to where they're trying to tunnel in.
Yeah. And Farago gets through and he's like, all right, there's a hare standing there. I'm going to stab him. And then we rush in. Stab. Haha, now finish him up. Oh.
Yep.
Where?
We found Heron's corpse.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
we find that Earthstripe just jammed all of Farron's poison pouches down his throat.
Oh.
So, yeah. Bye, Farron. Suck
He
to
was
be you.
angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't like him when he's angry.
Yep. And then Farago turns back around and is like, huh, those are two giant balls of boiling water. Excuse me for a minute. Oh, God!
Sorry, guys. Boss privilege. I need to go use the executive bathroom. Run away.
It's like, what's that rumbling? And just the ones who aren't, drowned instantly are horribly scalded. And Farago's out there with like most of his body burned, and Klitsch walks up and is like, "Oh, did you burn your bottom?"
Oh, he's loving this. He
Oh
is-
yeah.
Yeah. After this entire section of the book, where all of Klitsch's logical objections to his dad's plan get shouted down or made fun of, he's actually right.
Well,
In most of them.
to be fair, Klitsch was the one that thought it was impossible to dig into the mountain and thought it would take forever. And Farago was like, "Well, yeah, I found a weak point, dumbass." And he's like, "Oh."
Thanks, Jeremy. But yeah, and now Klitsch is like, "So, Dad, I guess you're on the disabled list. Yeah, I'm taking over.
Time for Klitsch to have his day."
Mhm.
And Farago's like, "Oh, when my butt stops burning, I'm totally gonna like yell at you and ow."
I've got a pretty good joke for that.
Okay, guys, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna
I
say
said-
if. Oh, go ahead.
Are we ready for the pun off, or is this different?
Oh, I was just gonna say if someone told him you just got burned, would that add insult to injury?
Probably.
Only because I've watched Austin Powers in the last week because it's on Netflix. Yeah, I'm expecting that kind of level of bad puns here.
Oh, I haven't watched Austin Powers in years.
It's just as bad as you remember.
I remember being funny. And
No. He's not
Yeah,
dead.
to 13-year-olds, it's very funny. To a nearly 35-year-old like me, it's kind of uncomfortable, especially what is essentially a sex assault joke. But that's not what we're covering today.
And the only thing I could remember from you pointing out Austin Powers is where Will Ferrell's character falls into the fire pit, and he's like, "I'm still alive. I'm just very badly burned."
Yeah. Mustafa.
And unlike the animated series where Darkclaw somehow survives with not a scratch on him from getting boiling water poured on him.
Oh, I forgot about that. I think I blocked out parts of the animated series.
No,
Well,
we've
we're
had
coming back around
characters-
to it, so...
we've had characters with miraculous recoveries before.
Yeah. I was gonna say when Earthstripe tipped over the pots, he's thinking of his Salamandastron and went 420 blaze it.
Well, if Farago played a D&D class, he'd be a scald. Yeah, he better go to the burn unit.
Yep. Too bad. Water way to go.
And there's Frogo like, "Okay, someone call Vermin HR. I need to quick a health insurance claim." Oh.
Yeah, he picks up the phone. "Thank you for calling Vermin HR. We know your claim is important. We will be with you shortly. To make your matter easier, please punch in your employee ID now." And Frogo's like, "Hang on. It's not a valid employee ID number."
Bruh, I bet he regretted getting into an insult contest with Earthstripe because he got roasted.
After that, Farago's like, "You're all fired."
Yeah, they're all in hot waters.
Well, you don't want to be fired from your own organization.
Yeah, when Farrago insulted Klitsch and said his plan was bad, he's like, "There's the pot calling the kettle black."
I imagine burnt weasel doesn't smell very good either.
Ugh. Yeah,
Hey, it's the first bath he's had in a very long time.
Like,
no. He has
Mom
good
always
hygiene.
said the water wouldn't melt me. She was wrong.
He has good hygiene, at least when it comes to his teeth.
Oh, this is true. It's just the rest of them, though. I mean, he's like, "You need to brush your teeth. You're so unhygienic." They're like, "Dude, you haven't taken a bath in like a year. I can smell you. You don't need to stab people. The stench of your body will kill them real easily."
I can smell you.
Oh,
Do we want to
So-
go back to Dumble and Thug? We've kind of popped over them for a bit.
sure.
Oh yeah, I forgot about them for a moment.
There's a lot of different plots happening here.
Yeah, this isn't clear cut as A and B plots anymore.
No, and I'd like to point out, I don't think we've really forgotten about Redwall's plight as so much as who cares.
It's very minor. It's like, oh, we're more of us are getting sick and we're running out of medicine, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
about it.
The plight of the
And-
characters going to help them is more interesting.
Well,
Yeah.
I also have to call a serious lore fail here because this book is well after the original 3 were published. We have at least heard about Loamhedge at one point. Someone could have been like, "Hey, remember how our Abbey history says our predecessor Abbey kind of went through this?
Yeah.
What did we do?"
I was wondering why no one mentioned that.
Yeah, I think it would have been a nice bit of continuity if this had turned out to be the exact same thing that took out Loamhedge.
But more
Yeah.
back to Thrug and Dumble because
Thrug
they're
and Dumble.
still adorable.
Yeah, Dumble's so cute, singing away. Even inside the backpack, singing.
Yes.
I would say Dumble's Dormouse song is adorable.
No.
I'm gonna go choke on my own poison bag.
Wait, what?
Oh, you mean a jelly bean?
I need more of those. Here, I'll put it on speakerphone.
I did. We adding like Foley sound effects to this as well. Hang on, let me
Apparently.
get my book.
But
And they meet a Scottish falcon.
yes, adding to our accent repertoire, we have genuinely Scottish falcons.
Yep. And I like the moment of Dumble like kind of chilling with him, and the Falcon looks up at Thrug's like, "Can't this baby say that I'm a falcon?" And he's like, "Yeah, and I'm an otter with a loaded sling." He's like, "You have a good point, sir.
I could not hurt him if I wanted to.
I did not have the power."
If you could change your fate,
Yeah, change your fate. Hey, did that look like crows to you? Lots of crows.
A murder of crows.
There's like this really lengthy battle with crows, and like Thrug is just awesome, like leaping on crows, whirling around the haversack.
Yeah.
Just
And
going
even
into a
Dumble,
rage.
as we're told, he breaks a stick over one and then grabs both halves and quote goes at them like a miniature windstorm.
There was one where it literally said he shoved the stick down the bird's throat.
ow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call Dumble should have been the Abbey Warrior by the time Clooney rolled around here.
Jeez. Like Earthstripe's here and accounts of this is like, huh, sounds like I found the next leader of Salamandastron. Oh, yeah, but yeah, I do like the moment where Dumble is getting hurt and then Thrug just goes, "Thrug smash!" And just he starts shouting war cries and beating up every single crow because Thrug is awesome.
Mhm.
Don't hurt the babies.
Yep.
Mr. Thrug, I don't feel so good.
Oh, that's terrible. But yeah, fortunately the Falcon has a father and other members of his clan who come in and
Leonard McCallan.
Yeah, and they go to town on those crows.
Oh yeah. I like that moment too of like there's like 5 of them and Throw goes, well, there's only 5 of you, no offense. He's like, oh, no worries, laddie. If 5 of us can't beat him, then we can't call ourselves Falcons. And he just kind of walks up and leaps into them and kills 4 in like under a second. And then it's just wholesale slaughter on the crows.
Yeah. I'm kind of sad there wasn't a good Falcon punch in there.
Now that'd be if he was Captain McTalon.
There's probably a couple of Falcon kicks, but
Give me your best Scottish Captain Falcon impression.
show me a move.
Pretty good.
But they're like, okay, yeah, you say it helped save my son, so yeah, you're cool.
Yeah.
I swear to God, though, Brian Jakes really is just like, what's going on with these characters? Birds.
It's like, all right, more birds.
Birds.
And now there's less birds.
And there were
Bugs.
bees earlier.
This is true. This book does teach you about the birds and the bees.
Well,
What was that?
No idea.
Strangling a cat?
Hey, is that the sound of the deep coiler?
I thought you were saying did Martina step on a
deep
tap?
boiler's coming up.
Oh, yeah, we get. Oh yeah, Mara and the shrews, and I think Logalog just tried to feed Pickle a version of Bowley's weapons. He gives him a bit like this oatcake biscuit thing that's hard as a rock.
Yeah, like the hard tuck biscuit they called it.
Yep.
I think.
yes. No, thank you. It's like the old bread that Farago was passing out earlier.
Mhm. I think it may have been something that maybe you were supposed to soak for a while before you eat it, but
Is it just like hardtack? Because hardtack is just like flour mixed with water,
Oh.
and
Yeah.
sailors would eat it on long journeys, but would get infested with weevils, and so they would eat it in the dark because then you couldn't tell if you had a weevily piece of hardtack.
Ugh.
I would be able to tell. And I'm always in the dark.
Given my superpower.
I'm pretty sure the taste would give it away.
Yeah.
Mm.
What was that weird crunching? Oh, it's nothing.
What's the only thing worse than finding a weevil in your hardtack biscuit? Finding half a weevil.
Yep.
But yeah, wasn't Brian Jakes a sailor?
Yes.
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 I'm pretty sure he knew about hardtack.
And yeah, they reach a giant lake, and there's this freaky fish floating around, and Tubgut all of a sudden is like, "Yeah, I'm totally taking over." Why is the badger suddenly behind me, about to kill me?
why can't
Tubgut
I
is the
feel my?
star scream of the Gossam.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yep.
And like Logalog's like, well, let's settle this in a fight. And he's like, no fight. I'm just the leader now. Decided.
Yep. And, yeah, and Mara's like, me and my big badger hands in this oar disagree.
Yes.
And Logalog like leaps across both boats and suddenly has his rapier right in Tubgut's face. And like, yeah, I'm the leader again because I'm awesome.
Yeah, I love how fickle the shrews are too. They're just like, oh yeah, Log sucks. Oh, Log's great.
And they get attacked by Deep Coiler again. And there's a Tubgut was tied up, and then he fell into the water, and Mara saves him.
Aw.
Yeah,
He's
that
nice.
was nice. And Pickle he was the one who saved Nordo.
Yep. And Tubgut's like, I'm so sorry. I'll follow you to the ends of the earth. Your enemies are my enemies. I'm not worthy. And Mara's like, okay.
Very nice.
Okay. Just, all right.
Yeah. And then like they sight land, but there's a leak in the boat. And it's a race against time because those are the rules.
Yep.
Of
Cattle
course.
race. Ready, set, go. Race.
But they finally get to the island safely, although they kind of lose a few shrews to the decoiler. Oops.
Oops.
Yeah, like 3. And they make
And-
the island.
And hey, does that sound like a ghost cry to you?
Jinkies, gang.
Yeah, there is totally like Pickle totally turns into Scooby where he just like leaps in the air as soon as the mention of the ghost.
Ruh-roh. Ghost Badger.
And he leaps right into Mara's arms.
And Mara's like, you want a
Hug-
Scooby snack?
Just hugging Mara's head, just scared.
Careful. Badger hugs can turn out very bad.
Yes. Yeah, they jump off the mystery skiffs. I mean, log boats.
And when they eventually, like I said, they make land, they make camp, and in the distance is an obvious, totally a ghost, you guys, calling out Eulalia. Just very slow and ethereal, like, I'm totally a ghost, and not a man-child badger we'll meet next time.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back at Sam Kim, Arula, Sprigid, and terrified Rat, who he's dead. Never mind.
Yep.
That's the end of that.
Oh, and now Rula can't scare him anymore by pretending to be crazy.
And it's like, you were just
Yes.
pretending all that, Arula, right? Yes. Pretending.
Yes, pretending.
And we get a different group of Gossam, and the leader of them, Alpha, is like, we're more civilized shrews. And I just was like, isn't civilized shrews an oxymoron?
Yes, we're
Aw.
civilized. Even though one of us just killed a rat in cold blood that was tied up, we're civilized.
Look, he's on his own there, and look, Rakla is his name, and look, he's a bit of a dingus, but I'm kind of on his side on one point where he's like, look, that fox is mine. He killed my brother, and then Alpha goes, well, he stole Samkin's sword, so Samkin has dibs. I'm like, dude, I'm pretty sure slain brother outranks stolen sword.
Yeah, brother, inanimate object. Brother, inanimate object.
Exactly.
But you don't understand. This is an important Abbey relic.
He's like, well, after I cut the fox's head off, I'll give you the sword back. How does that sound?
Fine.
Yeah.
But I'm sure these two groups of characters will never meet, right?
Never. Never ever.
Never, ever, ever, never.
What the?
Yeah, that kind of where it ends.
Yeah, well, it's like this is where we kind of get back to Farago being burnt in his camp, and
I'm okay. I'm not okay.
probably really still stinking.
Well, I totally hope no one's gonna try and assassinate me while I'm on the disabled list.
Assassinate.
Forgrin and Raptail, after 2/3 of the book, are like, all right, time to move in.
Lego.
Assassinate the assassin. Ready, go.
Yep. And they're like, thank goodness we were at the end of that line, or, well, we'd be stew.
They've been up to this point, like just like like we're just basic soldiers, but let's go kill our boss.
I
What's
mean,
the
this will
plan
totally go well, right?
Yeah, what's their plan? Like, are they actually planning to take over, though? Like, they're just like, well, we hate Farago. What are you going to do after you kill Farago? Shut up.
I mean, let's be realistic here. If they actually succeed in killing Farago, Klitsch is going to be like, huh, well, thanks, guys. You go kill them because I don't like traitors.
Right.
And he takes over the Horde. And okay.
I do like the touch. There's a point where Klitsch like marches off because he's all pissy, and Farago's like, "By the way, if he ever starts plotting behind my back, I'll let him live as my son because he's my son. But if any of you work with him, yeah, I'd hate to be you."
Yep. So at least he values his family line.
Yep.
But
Farago's
hey,
got
does
a
anyone
bad
see my
liver.
wife?
Farago's
Yeah.
got a bad liver, and he's like, "Klitsch, gonna use that later."
Oh yeah, but no one's seen your wife in season, sir. Oh, she went on nature walk. But yeah, that kind of wraps book 2 up there. So overall, yeah, the story is still moving, but I honestly thought this would be more towards the end what happened.
We'll say this book is definitely more evenly broken up than like some of the last ones we've done.
Oh, no doubt.
It like the last section is pretty long that we're gonna hit. It's not like Legend of Luke or like Mossflower where it's like 50 pages and that's it. So
Right.
No, this is about 120 odd pages in the last section here.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. And I realized I missed a good Farron joke. You could say he was silent but deadly.
Oh, God, Jeremy. I can only laugh at that, as terrible as it is. Predictions for the next end of here? I wonder if Farago is going to come off the disabled list.
I'm sure Forgrin and Raptail's plan will go perfectly, and they'll leave with no problems, and Klitsch will take over and conquer the mountain, but then become friends with Earthstripe, and everyone will live happily ever after.
There will probably be another bird.
Yeah.
Yes.
All things.
You got an eagle eye for this sort of thing. Are you? When they showed up, were you counting crows?
Go choke on a biscuit.
All right. Well, that should wrap us up here. Jeremy, because you're better at this, and because I hate you for the puns, you get to tell the people where they find us on the internet.
Oh. All right. You can find us at recorderonthewall.com. We are on iTunes and Google Play Podcast. We are also featured on the Eulelia subreddit. We are also on the official Redwall forums. We have an official Twitter account at ROTWpod. We have a Gmail address if you would like to send us emails, rotwpod@gmail.com.
Very good.
Yay!
And look on minor announcement. I actually got invited onto a new podcast myself.
Oh,
not
sweet.
too long ago.
Heck yeah.
They had me on to talk about their stuff. I'm gonna let people know through Twitter when this comes out, but I'm looking at who was it?
What podcast was this?
They're not out yet. They're getting everything together. But it's I'm looking forward to this. They might have me on if they like me. It's called Realms, a world building podcast. The idea is they're taking stuff off they find on the internet or suggestions from listeners, and they just have a couple of people on and work out the implications of whatever that fictional concept is. I got to talk about, well, you'll just have to listen because I don't want to spoil it.
Hey. That sounds pretty darn cool.
Mm-hmm. When it comes out, I will certainly let people know through Twitter.
Cool. Yay!
So you'll let them know through at ROTWpod?
Correct.
ROTWpod.
Right. Well, with that, I'm Pop Abba Pete.
I'm Pun Master Jeremy.
I'm Katie with Terrible Internet.
I'm Adam. Warriors and Monsters is just off-brand D&D.
And I'm alive.
And he's drunk. We'll see you next time, folks. We are recording. Avoid legal snakes by telling people you're being recorded. Okay, done. So.
Avoid legal snakes.
Yeah.
Snake lawyers.
Oh, God. Hey, Espeteus needed a day job.
Damn it, you beat me to it.
You've been skipping your
Objection.
taxes.
All right, Jeremy, when you're ready.
All right. God, I hate to have Asmodeus as an accountant.
I almost want to put this as a blooper section.
Do it.
Okay. I can do
One
that.
second, give me a second. I'm grabbing jelly beans.
Wait, what?
You just gotta cut it at the end after the credits and that, you know. After
Yeah,
the
that's exactly what I'm going to do after the outro.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got jelly beans.
All right.
No choking on them.
I think I did that one
You
podcast.
did.
Uh-oh.
No more than letting motorcycle or train noise slip into the podcast. Which honestly has led to some of our best jokes, so
Yes.
inadvertently.
Oh.